I'm Danica Patrick, and I'm pretty intense.
When I look back, I went to college and I had sort of always loved health and nutrition and would read these diet books and played soccer and was a captain of my soccer team in ASB, super involved, like loved my friends. Didn't really have a serious boyfriend until college, but I would go to the dances and have fun and had a lot of confidence. And I would read the diet books for the science. And I would maybe do them just to try them out for a couple of days. It never lasted long term, but it never made me feel bad about myself when it wouldn't work. But then I dated someone who, being a serial monogamist, my parents have been married for over 40 years, I was being cheated on without knowing it. He's, an athlete, a good-looking guy. And it was the first time my confidence took a real hit. And so I started to read these diet books, and sort of really it manifested in me needing to change my body. Right? I must not be
pretty enough,
skinny enough, good enough, which is the first time I ever felt that way.
Yeah.
And so I started to read these diet books, and then I really started to do it. And then when it would fail, because ultimately, I'm a college kid eating in the college cafeteria, or I'm out with friends, and I'm wanting to really celebrate life and be this positive person I had always been, my confidence took major hits. And I'd be I need to, and what I felt was I talk about the pendulum ball, and you said balance doesn't exist. It's this thing where people think they're going to be perfect and their ball is going to stop. And it's not. It's always going to be bouncing. It's homeostasis. It's even your blood sugar is going up and down and up and down and up and down. Always. It's never just solid, steady state. And that's how we are emotionally too. And so I'm thinking about this light flow. And what ended up happening was I was doing these diets, trying to do them. And then I was swinging back to going to Cabo on spring break with all my friends and feeling out of control. And not to the point where I'm I'm binge drinking, but I was eating all the chips and guac, and feeling worse about myself. And so what I was finding was all of these diets are make you feel like junk about yourself and your body. And it was killing my confidence to do the regular things that I would do, be in a role in my sorority, or play on my soccer team, or be with my friends. And how was food affecting my confidence in this way? How I can control all of my life, but I can't control my food choices. I can't not eat that chocolate. I can't not. Why is this so, one, it's human nature to eat, and it also is
also necessary.
It's necessary. It's our first coping mechanism. But the more I tried to control it, the more my pendulum ball went like this.
Well, because it's a polarity, right?
It's total polarity.
The more you're over here on the restriction side, the more you usually fall into the binge side of things. And so if you can just stay closer to the middle, it doesn't swing so far, and you feel more comfortable and control, which is what it just feels so authentic to you, that your program revolves around this sustainability and ability to control those triggers.
Yeah, and it's what I needed. It's really what I needed. And so I stopped going to try to do other people's things, and I started looking at these books differently. I got out of that bad relationship. Yep. I turned back, I really came back to myself.
What gave you the confidence? I mean, it's kind of a side question, but a lot of the things that I like asking people about on the show are just certain things that they've experienced that are emotional, that help them transition. You were in this yo-yo of lacking confidence and then trying to get confidence in these other ways to, impress somebody, and, eventually you left. And so what gave you that kind of confidence?
Well, it's interesting. It's sort of we'd have to go into the layers, but, I was raised in a family where the person that you're with, physically, emotionally, and sexually, is the person that you marry. And so being that relationship was my first real relationship, and something I felt this innate need to hold on to it and to make it work. And honestly, I just hit rock bottom. It was embarrassing when I would find out that this was happening. It's nothing that I would ever stand for my friends.
Yeah.
I didn't understand who I was. I didn't feel anywhere near close to myself, because if it was my friend, I would have been what the hell are you doing?
Isn't that interesting? Yeah. when
And
you
like,
say
but
it out
for some
loud.
reason you're like, oh, I'm gonna like
You say it
hide
out
in
loud
this.
and they're like, what would my friend would say, leave. Shit.
Yeah,
you're right.
everyone would say leave, you know? And it just got embarrassing enough, and to the point where I was done, and I needed to move on. And I think people just hit rock bottom and something like that. And based on, I am thankful for the confidence that my parents instilled in me at a young age, and that sports instilled in me, and like my friends, because I think that timeline was shorter than because of those factors. And I feel bad when people don't have a little bit of that foundation wherever they get it, to be able to look at someone who's not treating you right and say, I'm out and I deserve better. And that's sort of, I just hit that breaking point and was like, you know what? I might disappoint my parents for not, being with this person that I was with for the first time and marrying that person, but this person isn't right for me, and it's not what they want for me anyways. And I'm going to own that and go back to being myself and taking care of myself first. And then we'll, see who I meet.